Thank you so much for listening to the KJNA podcast. You can email us at kjnapodcast@gmail.com.
Give us a call or text or leave us a message at 858-848-KJNA. That's 5562.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube at KJNA Podcast.
Don't forget, we have 6 hours of bonus content over on our Patreon, patreon.com/KJNA Podcast. And if you want to donate to us, find us at buymeacoffee.com/KJNA Podcast.
Thank you so much for listening.
Love you.
This episode of the KJNA podcast.
That's right. We're actually in the same place for once.
He's right there.
Like, he's right there.
Right there. He's right there.
Yeah.
Right there. You see that?
I can touch it.
See it?
I can touch it. That's right. We're live together in the same room, like when we started.
It's
in
been
like,
so long since we just hung out like this. It's so nice.
right?
So we went on Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
and I just randomly decided to pick an anime movie, and I couldn't think of what to do. So I just typed in the letter K and figured out what came in. And what ended up coming up was King of Thorn.
Yeah, one of only 3 films that Crunchyroll apparently has a K for.
Yeah, number 3. And I was like, well, this seems like the most logical.
It had the best poster.
Yes. It had a quality poster. I was like, well, quality poster means quality movie.
I don't know if you've, as an audience, heard our review of Bubble.
Ooh.
But that was a Netflix original, and it was about the Little Mermaid. The King of Thorn?
It's
It's Sleeping Beauty. But
head fucked up.
and
Yeah, it's head fucked up.
it was a manga before it took shape as a film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at my microphone. I'm sorry, I keep looking at my microphone because
No, it's fine.
my microphone's usually down here,
Right here.
like a dead hand. But you know,
I call it the strain.
And if you get that reference,
you could be our friend.
You
you can be a friend.
Father,
I call it the strange.
you ever just sit on your hand? Go
Don't
to
fall
sleep. And we're gonna leave it at that. We'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah, but if you
But-
understand that reference,
Yeah, definitely.
you message us or comment or email us because I will have this discussion.
Yeah, we will do that.
I'll give you a hint.
Nursing.
Oh, face.
Let me show him my own face.
Then that happened.
You know what I'm saying, right? Anyways, so we watched this movie, King of Thorn, which is like fancy Sleeping Beauty, but also with confusion and attempted psychological thriller.
It's a horror sci-fi, to say the best. I want to give it like our normal once over of like all the ratings and stuff. I will at least give it this. I'll give it IMDb 6.3 out of 10, and Rotten Tomatoes 55%.
I have to agree.
It is with the amount of psychological depth that it has, I think it loses a lot of the steam with the amount of layers that they're trying to throw on this.
Yeah, they really tried to throw on the layers so much they couldn't even remember what the original flavor was.
Yeah. See, Dr. Pepper, 21 flavors, but they're all there.
Yeah, they mixed evenly. Like it came through. Like I feel like they threw on so many layers. And they tried to peel them away at the end. They did not peel all of them away.
No.
But I feel like if you just gave us all the information at the beginning, and then the whole goal was to like get out, or maybe like gave us everything except for one piece, just one piece that you were curious about the whole time, and kept that one question building
Right.
through the entire thing.
But there was too many parts.
Too many parts. There's so many little parts, so many little questions that there were numerous times during this movie I stopped and looked at Jan and I was like,
The fuck is going on here?
why?
Well,
What the fuck is happening? I hate this person. Stop talking.
at least two of them.
There was at least two of them. Stop reading Sleepy Beauty.
To add on to that at the end. And if any of you talk to Kevin who listened to this, I literally got up and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that got lost because we talk really loud. But yeah, what the hey.
Yeah. We are he 100% stood up and just had to do the pose.
Yeah. Sorry if the sound quality just like cut
Hold
out.
on, let me get a good video on this. Hold on, you gotta like
I feel like it was justifiable. Completely.
It was completely viable. No question.
Yeah.
That's totally fine because it was appropriate for this because there are numerous times where I just wanted characters to just stop talking.
Oh, they did.
They did stop talking.
Lately.
Yeah. Forever.
Ooh, ominous.
Yeah, but
But
it was. Oh God. Okay. I'm just gonna give some. You gave a little bit of IMDb. I'm gonna give a little bit of art.
all right.
Okay.
Um,
So
yeah, good. Do
okay.
art.
So I'm just saying they do a lot of hand drawing,
Red.
but they also do the 3D with art covering it, so it looks like. But for some reason, it's like only the monsters are 3D, and the people are mostly 2D the entire movie. But then when monsters are there, the characters are also 3D. So you can tell that they're like a little.
It's not a seamless transition at all.
No, it's not seamless at all. It's just suddenly there's a monster there. They are.
Yeah. And we pointed that out immediately. Like, hold on, wait a second. They went from 2D to 3D. Why is it 3D now?
And then once the monsters were gone,
Then they went back to 2D.
they went back to 2D. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking. Almost as nerve-wracking as playing Fortnite and seeing somebody jiggle themselves in and out of the vehicle as you're driving.
I don't know that problem. I haven't played recently.
I told my brother-in-law that if he gave me a seizure, I would kill him.
Well, that's fair.
It would happen. I don't think I have epilepsy. Yeah, I don't.
Pop, pop, pop.
Like, I don't think I would have epilepsy. I don't think I have epilepsy, but I feel like watching that on a screen just multiple times would cause something to just be like,
Just the left half.
just break. I'd just be broken.
Well, you heard it here. David, stop being a dick.
We love you, but we will hurt you.
We do. We do love you. That's
As
we should
far
totally do trios, but I don't know why I didn't load for it.
that's fair. It's a big file.
I'm so tired of it.
As far as background and creative stuff, I will tell you that it was directed by Kazuyoshi Katayama. The music is by Toshihiko Sahashi. It was released on May 1st of 2010, and I will actually break that down a little bit more
Because it was released at the festival in 2009, right?
So as far as this release tells me, it was actually released October 2009 at the Sitges Film Festival, and then it made its Japanese DVD Blu-ray release in October of 2010, and then it was worldwide by November of 2010. So there's your release window for this film. So, 10 years before COVID said, hey,
Yeah.
fuck your life.
Yeah. So this was like, I mean, as of this recording, 15 years ago. As of 15 minutes. 15 years ago.
Yeah. As far as cast, Kasumi Ishiki was played by Brina Palencia.
Who was the guy that when you talked, you immediately were like,
oh, that's blah, 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 blah.
Oh, he didn't even make this list of main characters because he was just a part of the opening. But it was Todd Haberkorn.
This motherfucker.
I know voices. I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get any of that. This motherfucker was just like, oh, it's Todd Haberkorn. The fuck?
I've heard Todd Haberkorn's voice so many times. I can tell you.
Do you go to sleep with his voice nudging you to bed?
No. If I had a voice actor to lull me to sleep, it's somewhere between Crispin Freeman or Steve Blum. Steve Blum being the voice of Spike Spiegel, and Crispin Freeman being the voice of so many characters, but also the same thing if you say about Steve. So they're just they're mainstays in the voice acting community. So I can't.
I was watching Archer before you came over.
Yes.
And
H. John Benjamin.
Yes. And what they were talking about, what made me think of you, was he was like, oh, well, I wish I had a prehensile tail like Nightcrawler. And then, of course, they pull out his real name. And then he was like, well, I guess if there were any X-Men that was gay, it would probably be Gambit. He's like, Gambit seems like the one. And so they kept calling her like Gambit or like Gambit or something. But it made me think of like, we can have that discussion on the podcast. What's the gayest X-Men who's not actually gay?
Wait a second.
And we can't do that right now.
Okay.
We can't do it right now.
Future
We
episode.
have to talk about this episode. Future episodes. Gay X-Men. The X-Men.
Also, I'm pretty sure he said Alan Cumming, right?
Yeah.
Live action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Wait. No, he said, no, the alter ego of Nightcrawler. The actual
Wagner.
Kurt Wagner, yes. That's what he said. Of course. Because Archer there, I don't know, Archer is 100% autistic. And that motherfucker, like, what was it? She, what's her name, said something to him, Lana said something to him about over the radio about him being autistic, and he's like, I can't hear you because I'm stacking these rocks. In size order from bottom to top. Man, I started watching that from beginning to end just because it was, I needed to pick something. It's so fucking,
It's so hilarious.
it's like The Office, man. You just gotta like go through it again.
I'm tempted.
It's so
like,
fun. It's so good.
We'll have to do like a whole season.
Oh, we could do an entire Archer season.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I would be laughing my ass off the whole time. These poor people would hear me.
I mean, what? Have you guffawed with us before? You should guffaw with us. Watch
Jay. Jay.
Jay.
Yeah.
You got a little shit on your lip, right?
If you haven't watched Archer, that's exactly what you would be looking forward to.
Oh my god, it's so the shit that they pull out.
Oh yeah, I love it.
And then beginning of the fourth season, the guy who plays Archer's voice plays also the main voice in Bob's Burgers.
Yes.
And so they start out with him at Bob's Burgers, like he's flipping the.
I was just telling one of my friends because he decided to watch the first episode finally, and he was like, I was like, there's a crossover between him and Bob, and between this and Bob.
Yeah,
he was like, what? I'm like, yeah. I can't tell you anymore. Just go ahead and watch it. But we're not talking about that.
King of Thorn.
Marco Owen is played by Patrick Sates. Let me see if I can get my thing down. Catherine Turner, which you don't even really know her name is Catherine until like way into the film. Yeah. Stephanie Young. Peter Stevens is played by Christopher Bevins. Alexander Pacino, the Senator, played by R. Bruce Elliott. Timothy Lassenbach, or just Tim, played by Lucy Christian. Ron Portman, Bob Carter. We have Alice, played by Monica Rayo, which we've heard that name on this podcast before. Shizuku Ishiki, played by Alexis Tipton, which doesn't make sense if you're twins.
The same as the other one is.
You would think that they have the same voice actress, but no, it's
two separate voice actresses.
yes,
Really?
both twins have a different voice actress. So Brina Palencia as Kasumi, and then her sister played by Alexis Tipton.
But also, if the twins, why does one have glasses and the other doesn't?
I guess the genes were not just good enough.
They weren't fraternal.
No,
They were identical.
Yeah, they were identical. And then the final character that had a big part to play was Ivan Coral Vega, played by John Swayze. Now,
Okay.
again, this was a manga before it became an anime. It had a total of 39 Oh, no, my bad. Was it 39? Yeah, 39 chapters with a bonus chapter, 6 volumes total. And the film, like I said, came out at the Citrus Film Festival in 2009. So a year prior to its actual DVD and Blu-ray.
Okay. So I will give it that the art that they did do was good.
It's very reminiscent of an older show called
Yes.
Blue Gender, and almost Cowboy Bebop to a certain extent.
I feel like it's pretty hero close. As well, it's not
as far
fluid.
as far as the
Style of
stylization.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, 80s wise, it would be a transition to
Probably
Hey,
more
Bob.
like Evangelion.
okay, yeah,
Because Evangelion with the mechs, they did the 3D thing.
right. And
And-
in the newer one.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
newer one. And so like it wasn't as fluid as those ones where they did like 40 frames a second. And it was fluid because at the beginning I said like we were watching, I'm like, oh, they're clipping a lot.
Yeah, it's
But at first that's fine.
I mean, it was almost immediate. You're like, okay, we're doing 2D, and all of a sudden this very specific monster pops up and it becomes 3D.
yeah.
And we were
No,
like,
but I'm talking about with the group at the beginning when they're explaining the movie.
okay,
When that woman is falling, you're like, what the fuck is that?
yeah, that little dot.
Yeah, the little dot, and they're showing like the groups of people walking
Okay.
through. That was 2D, but it was like
Oh,
click, 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 click. It wasn't like a smooth fluid. They're moving.
yeah, no.
They couldn't even like flash MX that shit where they just like move a piece like this. They had to like tick, 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 tick.
Why so janky?
Yeah, it's like a foot. But so to actually describe how this movie, how long are we in? I don't even know.
We're a ways in.
We're a ways in.
We're like 17.
Yes.
We got time.
Okay.
We got time. So
So
this is an hour-long episode. We got
I
that.
mean, you told her it is now.
How we?
I tell you what, we've been doing this recording online so long that it's really hard to look at you and not.
I was like,
It's really hard.
This is unsettling.
This is unsettling.
I don't
This
know
is
where
how
I'm
we used to do it.
yeah. I mean,
We didn't have video when it first started.
no. When we first started, we were literally sitting at a dining room table. One of us was sitting on one side of the table. The other one had to literally sit a little bit further away because we were trying to keep the noise down between.
Yeah, I was on the edge of the table because that's where my computer sat.
Right. And I would be like at least a seat down, mid-table.
Yeah, but we would look at each other while we were talking, and now I'm used to looking at the
Right. Looking at the monitor and looking at the screen.
but you're here now.
Yeah.
We can talk.
You are here.
I see you.
You are here now.
We are doing this.
so anyways, this movie is actually so they start out explaining via news broadcasts what's happening.
Yeah.
And essentially there's this virus they're calling the Medusa virus, which is appropriate.
Yeah.
People catch it, and then apparently it's between 6 to 12 months.
Yeah. What is it? Is it 6
They
months or is it
have
like
it. But then it's 12 hours after it becomes like
active?
active that within that 12 hours they turn to stone and are dead. Like it's 100% fatality rate.
Yeah, they're like, there's no way to escape the virus at all.
And there's no
Like
cure.
once you contract it, like you're done.
Like they show a woman falling from like the top of a skyscraper in New York, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be nasty. Oh, that's gonna be nasty. And then she's flat, and they don't show it directly. They do like some artistic rendition, like, oh, Rose's fall.
Yeah,
Someone is
Pe-
some little
people are-
chihuahua.
yeah,
is
gets
a
off
little
the
asshole.
runs into traffic.
Runs into traffic and
And
causes.
Like, why is the dog the pivotal point of reference? Looking down, followed by the police that look like they were following the dog to the scene, only to see that this woman who was flesh and blood is now a crumbled statue on the street.
Yeah, because this turning to stone thing is like instant.
Yeah,
Because they mention, or not mention, but a couple times in the show, they're showing somebody talking, and they cut away, and they come back, and they're stuck.
yeah. It's so freaking weird. All while this is going on, as we start meeting our characters, primarily Kasumi and Shizuku, we hear this voiceover telling us the story of not Alice, Beauty.
Yeah.
But from the Grimm's tales, not the Disney version. We're hearing
This is the hardcore
Yeah.
version with like, where like people die a lot.
yes, and apparently vines and thorns are everywhere, and so forth and so on. It is a different rendition, but appropriate for this.
Yeah.
because
For what they're planning to do.
very dark story, and we see a security. I guess you would call
But
it.
it's still psychological. It's not fun.
No. After we get past the initial learning what's going on, apparently the president of the United States has also fallen to Medusa.
Yeah, they were like, oh yeah, the president's died. And you're like, wait, what? Like this wasn't a big deal because they all find out at a board meeting where the guy's like, yeah, this is how the stats are. This sucks. That sucks. Oh, and the president died. And no one makes like a big like, what the fuck? They're just like,
Because they go straight to, okay, so apparently they're thinking that this company,
Oh shit! What is it? Venus Gate.
yeah, Venus Gate, was behind the entire thing, and they created it as a bioweapon.
yeah.
So they're like, well, now we got to stop them. So we have to find a way to do that. But they're also at a press conference. The head of Venus Gate is saying that they can save at least 160 lives through cryostasis. They get 100 years if they're infected, since they might or might not be infected by Medusa, and they give them time to find a cure. Now, this is reminiscent of an older anime series that I told you about, Blue Gender, where people went into cryo-sleep, and then the next thing you know it, they wake up and things have changed terribly.
Yeah. I've seen that.
before.
Blue Gender. It's terrible. Because all
I
the
never
monsters.
watched-
What is that?
Okay, so think of this movie
Uh-huh.
where incurable disease, people go under, they come back, and then have to fight for their lives against giant insectoid-like creatures that literally take human bodies and kind of turn them into balls, like people balls,
People balls?
so they can munch on them later.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, so these rappers like wrap them up and then they're like,
but those
I'll
same
save it for later.
those same creatures, they used to be
Spoiler!
they used to be people. And the disease that they were trying to fight, that's what happened. It transformed them into those.
Oh.
And the main character was also infected with the same disease, but he didn't do that because he was in cryostasis. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh. I don't know what to say.
King of Thorn. not nearly as bad. Even though we theorized at one point that is exactly what happened. That's not what happened.
Yeah.
Like when they wake up,
You
you
immediately
immediately
assume
assume
it's
it's been like
years,
like
hundreds
hundreds
of
of
years.
years.
Yeah. So we see 3 buses carrying people into this castle in Scotland. and they're going into the cryostasis. But we focus on the girl who's reading the book, which we eventually find out is Catherine. A German father with glasses who's I don't even know. He was actually a social worker because Tim was a ward of the state.
Yeah.
Didn't even know the kid's name was Tim. He was just playing a video game.
Yeah, they
never even fucking
said his name until like the end of the fucking movie.
Like we didn't know the name of the prisoner. We didn't know the name of the cop. We didn't know the name of the kid. We didn't know the name of the blonde girl reading Sleeping Beauty really fucking loud on top in the bus.
All the time. She read it out loud,
and then someone talked to her.
And then she was like,
she was like, and she turned away. And you're like, why are you reading out loud?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Catherine, Kasumi, and Shizuku were all on the same bus. The prisoner, the cop were on the same bus, along with a film crew who is trying to like ascertain, like, how do you feel about this? What's going on? But they were just constantly like, we need more B-roll. No one's no, we got no comment.
Yeah, because everyone kept saying no comment.
Yeah,
being an asshole
about it.
These people are just trying to do their job. But they're like, no comment.
So they get to the castle, and they immediately have to go into orientation. Now, we're thinking that Shizuku and Kasumi are both a part of the program. It's only one of them, and they're twin sisters. So they're about to be separated. Kasumi is basically super depressed. Now, a small shot, if you watch fast enough, there is a small scar on Kasumi's wrist. If anybody who has a scar on their wrist knows, this is not the way. This is not the way.
It's not the way.
We had the KJNA podcast. We would love to extend a handout to anybody going through something.
Yeah, we joke a lot, but for real. Like, you can message us anytime you're happy to have a conversation if it helps.
Yep. So, Katsumi goes into orientation, gets a rundown from Ivan about what's going on, how things are going to go. They go into this deep sleep for what might seem like 100 years.
Yeah, like the computer is active for at least 100 years.
Yes, the AI that's going to help them through this whole sleep process is called Alice. Alice in Wonderland.
And it sounds like a creepy young kid.
Yeah, if
Like,
you've seen Resident Evil,
4-year-old.
you know how that shit goes.
Yeah, it's creepy as shit.
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not cool at all.
Nah, don't do that.
So they're all going under. But then when they wake up, there are thorns everywhere.
Yeah, like the whole place is. I'm talking about like thorn vines, like 6, 7,
Like
maybe a foot thick.
Stick it as on.
Yeah,
Stick it as on.
just all the way down to the top thicker. And like thorns like this, and they are everywhere.
Yep.
Because the way that they have it kind of makes me think of the Stanley Parable,
Okay.
where like they have the video screens all the way around.
Oh, the panorama.
But it's like that, yes. But it's like that, but with cryostasis pods.
Yeah. So, like a honeycomb. Yeah. Pods in those.
Maybe.
Pods in those. But all the way around.
Yeah. Well, it was real honeycomb. It was square.
Honeycomb with some
like that.
honeycomb. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
But not sorry.
That's okay.
Because it's an accurate representation of exactly what we saw. And a honeycomb. And a honeycomb. So each one of them was babies. And they just got popped out. And then it was the thorns. And then it was a crazy creature.
But what I think is weird is they made it out like 160 were a random lottery for the deal.
It seemed like they were okay. So it seemed like it was a random lottery at first, and then they explained later on what it actually was. So crazy little creature.
Because in the beginning you're going, why is there a fucking kid? What? Because I mean, like kids was like what, 6, 7?
I don't know what age he was.
Yeah, he was like there was also a prisoner.
He was annoying.
A senator.
Yes, a Italian senator that we saw actually fly in and give a hug to Ivan Vega.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you guys are you okay?
Yeah.
You guys friends? Yeah,
Yeah. Your friend just happens to be frozen.
yeah, right.
Maybe so there's that. I mean, there's also they had the prisoner, they had younger teenage girls, there were other people on there that were just random
Right.
people, and we'll get to that.
Again, and it's inside a castle. And
Yeah, it's big ass castle in fucking Scotland.
who creates a bio research medical style facility within a castle in Scotland? Why not an actual
And then
I don't know.
a bunch of other
a hospital?
Yeah.
You know, in a city.
yeah. That makes sense. But I mean, like, people get pretty grasp when they get out. I'm
sorry.
I
Yeah, well,
don't know. I'm trying to be devil's advocate here, man. I'm trying.
But yeah, everybody wakes up. They start, and we even said this, that it seemed like it was very haphazard. If no one's around when you wake up, how do you get out of your capsule and to the ground? Since it's a honeycomb in a dome.
Yeah, it's like they're 100 feet up.
Yeah,
But then and there was sort of a ladder, but the way she had to get to that ladder,
haphazard. I'm like, people fall
yeah,
because they have no coordination. So you're like, okay, it's perfectly fine to put this person at the top level, knowing that they probably have like,
yeah.
no, people die. But yeah, Kasumi starts to go to get out of her pod to go to the ladder that is now.
And she sees like a body.
Well, she sees a body when she wakes up, but then the little thing like flies over.
Yes, everything got ducktails.
Yeah, so it looked like it was a dragon style bird thing until it like flapped open.
Like 3 different things come out.
And then it's a face.
Yeah, and there's another little face with human teeth in it.
No, not even human teeth. Those
It was human teeth inside,
I don't
but it
know.
wasn't
It looked like
human teeth on the
fangs.
outside.
Like lots of fangs.
Yeah, but on the outside part,
I thought it was on the inside part
and on the
too.
inside part, it was just like human-looking teeth. They were flat.
Either way, it screeched. She freaked out. She damn near fell. And as soon as that shit happened, she started dropping. And she dropped again.
One at a time.
Yep.
She was catching each one.
And then 2 people caught her. And then she was like, oh, there was a thing. And then as soon as she says that shit, everybody looks up. And then there's a whole swarm. And what happens? They start fucking attacking immediately.
Yeah.
And this is when we start losing a lot of people.
We lost everyone.
Oh, no. Because it wasn't from them specifically. A guy with blonde hair and glasses. Hey, there's an elevator over there. We should go to the elevator. So everybody starts rolling over to the elevator. Also, trampling each other, slapping the shit out of each other over there.
Which expected. 160 people all trying to save
Freaking out.
themselves. That is horde mentality.
Like they fucking
So
Run.
someone's pushing the door. It's not coming. It's not coming.
And me and Jay both are like, there's no fucking power.
Yeah, like it's
of course
dark
there's
as
not
it's
power.
dark as fucking shit. I'm surprised you all made it out of your cryo chambers. Cops like, everybody needs to calm down. It's coming. It's just gonna take a second. And as soon as the door opens, people start, all right, and they start pushing. And what happens? They start falling because there's no elevator there. There's just a shaft.
I mean, like, all of them except for Sis fall down this elevator shaft. And oh my god, it's literally had me at least 100 of change people
Oh,
go down this elevator shaft.
literally. Okay, so we had the senator survived, Tim survived, Kasumi survived, the cop, the prisoner, Catherine.
Yeah. There was
And-
like 7 people that survived. All the rest went down the elevator shaft.
Or got
and you're like, oh, they fell to death.
No, it wasn't just
No,
their
and
death.
then suddenly teeth closed in. And
Yep.
you're like,
It was a whole thing. A whole thing that just engulfed the entirety of the fucking elevator shaft. And then it looked up and it was like, more food. So it kept coming. And the old senator dude was like hanging because he wanted to be first. He got bitch slapped by somebody. And now he's like hanging for his life. Guy helps him up. What happens to said guy? Guy gets grabbed by the tongue
Oh,
of
that's
that
when he
creature.
smoking hat.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. The door manages to shut with this dude still being like tongue grabbed by this thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
one of
shut.
those things as you'd expect. The pieces,
So
and then it's around there, and the elevator door is just a crack, and just like waiting.
it makes me. I'm like, all right, hold on. I have to see when this Resident Evil movie came out. So I'm like, I feel like there was inspiration.
Are you talking about the first one with the elevator?
Yes.
Their heads out?
Yes.
Yes. That was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one. I'm like, when did that first? Okay, that came out in 2002. So they had
So that-
8 years. So I'm like, did you guys take that? You were just like,
I don't
we'll
know. I
do
remember
something
that
with an
fucking young,
elevator.
though.
Yeah, that.
I remember
I'm,
that
I'm sorry.
fucking Even though the rest of the movie wasn't really that great.
I mean,
That scene, I remember being like,
I mean, when you look at it from the, you've played the games, you understand how the story goes, and this is not the story, but I mean, for people who haven't seen the movies, you're like, or played the games, it makes to a certain extent.
yeah.
It has some sense.
But that chick's
I
head
don't-
out there, and then like going down, they're like, woo! Oh, hey, thank goodness. And then it goes up. And
Slipknot did a great song for that album, though.
yeah.
So, if you haven't seen Resident Evil the movie, I suggest you listen to the
Plus,
soundtrack
Mila
at least.
Jovovich.
Oh yeah, Chef's Kiss. I mean, anything she usually stars in becomes like a cult classic after the fact.
Fifth Element.
Yeah, definitely one of those. Days Confused. Days Confused.
Yes. Yeah. yeah.
But we're not talking about those.
Anyway, so everyone died for like 8 people, and
That's
they're
how
like,
they fast.
what the fuck? And so your first thought is they've been in fucking Cryostasis things
For
for years,
ages. Because we were like,
decades.
it's got to be like the Medusa virus mutated thing.
Yes.
And that was, we were just like, okay, that's what we're going with. That's what we're going with. And then we move on from the initial room because they escape out of there and they go somewhere else, led by, once again, guy with the glasses and blonde hair.
Yeah.
To which we have to be like, why do you know so much? You knew where the elevator
Because he was like
was.
leading them everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
go this way, let's go on this. And because he was the one who opened the door and was like, hey, side hatch.
Yeah,
And they go into the side hatch.
Peter.
Peter,
That's
yes.
Peter.
And that's Peter?
That's Peter.
Why? Oh, poor ChatGPT.
A little bit.
So that's Peter.
Yeah.
And that they're not an older couple, ChatGPT. Oh no.
Yeah.
That's okay. I still love you, and I'll still use you.
So yeah, Peter leads them. But they don't really know his name is Peter. They just know this guy.
Yeah, they hardly ever say a name, I think, except for once. And once they say it, they use it.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're an
Other
hour
than
and a
that-
half into the fucking movie, and you're like, oh, it's her.
Yeah,
her
this
name's
movie
Kat.
was
Okay.
long.
It was an hour and 49 minutes. It was really
Damn near
long.
2 hours. But yeah.
So they're running.
yeah.
And
It's,
then
it's
there's
basically a
monsters.
yeah. It's literally them running from monsters primarily the entirety of this movie, trying to figure out what happened, how long it's been, and
Getting out of the fucking castle.
yeah, and seeing that they actually can survive the Medusa virus.
Yeah.
Old man is immediately taken out by another monster in a separate area.
Because he won't shut his fucking mouth, and I'm so rich, why do I deserve this? And he gets it.
And again, going back to we think that the virus mutated. The creature that kills him has an exoskeleton that looks like it's a reptilian with like demon-like qualities. But then when you look into its secondary mouth, which looks
Yeah,
more
everything
human,
has a secondary mouth.
which does, I don't know.
It's weird. It's like a human alligator mix, and it's got like the outer mouth or claws, and it grabs onto your head, and then the inner mouth has like
humanoid.
human teeth,
And then-
opens up, and the tongue comes out, wraps around the head, and sucks in the head. Doesn't want to eat anything up.
No, it literally just goes for the head.
Yeah, it inhales the head and then moves on.
Yep. And
It does it like 3 fucking times.
so the kid Timothy that we found out his name,
Will not stop fucking talking about video games.
but these creatures he says are from his game. So you got the death bat, you got the
I didn't put that together.
yeah.
They only appeared because of.
I don't think it was because of him primarily when you find out who's actually at the center of it. But
That
it
would
might,
make sense though.
unless like him talking, unless they were all on the same bus. I think the kid, Catherine, and Kasumi and
Yeah, but
Shizuku were all
once
on
he
the same
got
bus.
in, if she absorbed his mind,
True, part of the
then
process.
because it was only
Yeah, okay.
spoiler alert,
Yeah.
it was a couple days. It was not years.
No.
It was a couple days, and it was some imagination bullshit.
It
But
it
she
yeah.
absorbed Tim's mind, that she would have made the creatures from his
Only
mind.
only because of Alice. If it wasn't for the Alice program, okay. So you know
There's
what?
so much. We're not going to make any sense
No.
listening to this because if we finished watching it, it still doesn't make sense.
No, because they just kept, and they would play a scene that happened. So both Peter and Marco had the same image: a door opening, Kasumi with her glasses,
With like vines
almost
going
looking,
around them.
almost looking like she was nude, but it was
Yeah.
like this weird yellow background that had like it was just streaming, and the vines were coming up, but they were coming up in a helix, like DNA.
Yeah, like it was
behind her.
intended that she was coming out like that. Like she was like their god. Like
Right.
She's coming up.
But then it slowly became that it wasn't just Kasumi, but it was her sister Shizuku
Behind her,
popping up and like,
Hey.
you've also lost someone close to you. And then the vines like smack Peter and smack Marco, and then that's just what happens, and it just keeps evolving as the image.
Yeah, that
it's
one scene keeps growing.
right. Until let's go ahead. How long have we?
I mean, we're
Yeah, we're already at 40. So what happens is before
We're not gonna be able to tell you everything in this.
oh no, I'm just gonna
There's too much.
You're gonna
have to watch this yourself.
spoiler, super spoiler.
all
spoilers all the time.
Ooh.
You know it.
open it up.
Open it up.
Hey.
Because it needs to be happened.
Yeah.
Kasumi apparently tried to commit suicide. Her sister,
Stop.
as we have been saying, not the way. Her sister stops her and is like, "Bro, just because mom and dad died from the Medusa virus doesn't mean we're gonna die from the Medusa virus. We have to live on. We have to keep going." When they are at the castle after the orientation, Cosme's like, "Dude, I can't fucking just dip into this cryo chamber and leave you behind. All we have to do is jump."
Yeah.
We can do it together.
They're like
Trying to figure
one
out.
of them is trying to kill the other one so they can die together.
Yeah, they're trying to
As
drive it out.
opposed to one being in a cryo chamber, the other one's still living.
Right. So we see them both look like they fall off the cliff. Only for one to survive.
Yeah, it's the one that wanted to live. It was about she hung on.
Nope. It was the one that was actually looking to die. Kasumi ends up killing her sister.
Because the one who wanted to die was the one with the glasses.
Bro, I'm still like the
Yeah, she was the one without
she
the
was
glasses.
she was the one who was laying on the table.
Yes. And at the end,
And it's again, this is so, it's
you
so,
can't describe this in an hour-long episode.
so hard because they just kept trying to muddle everything.
It's like adding little bits in, and you're like, this changes so muddled. You can't develop the whole thing again. They would change one little part, and so it changes the view of everything. They didn't give you time to process before they threw another thing on there.
This, I'm my perception. Kasumi inadvertently killed her sister Shizuku.
She's was the one without the scar.
Yes.
I think Shizuku was the one who lived. Because Kasumi killed herself because when Shizuku saw the body at the end, she saw the body had the scar.
Right.
Okay, so that means that she was no.
Yes.
No, you're right. You're right.
Kasumi, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
So
yes.
Kasumi was the one who survived.
And
but
hung on.
now,
Okay.
what we haven't explained was that Ivan found a girl named Alice at the village where a bunch of meteorites fell.
A long time ago.
Yeah, and the meteorites apparently were the start of the Medusa virus. The whole village got killed by it, but Ivan found this creature there, and that creature was super fast,
There was like some weird ass,
Yeah,
like not a human, but it was human.
it was human.
Had, like it looked like a Pokemon.
It looked like it was part cat, part human, part mon.
Yeah, yeah, it was 100%.
But they managed to kill it, only to find out that it was this little girl named Alice that created that creature. She was infected by the Medusa virus, and because of her imagination, and partly because of trauma, that she was able to create this creature, which they called an alternative, and it helped her to survive the Medusa virus. So
She
apparently,
and created this creature.
right. So Ivan thought that if he was able to unlock people's imaginations while in their dream state, he would be able to keep them alive and create alternatives and extend their life by kind of like force evolution.
Yeah, it's like forced evolution, but also we use humans to create other humans in
Yeah, it
this
was-
imagination state. They never really fully explained it before he killed himself.
Again, it's so. Yeah, well,
It's so
he tried to kill himself, but that's not.
Yeah,
but-
and then he ended up dying anyways.
Yeah. So apparently, guards find Kasumi. She is wigging out because her imagination has taken control, and they're like, okay, this person has a unique capability similar to Alice, and they try to put her through the same experimentation that they put Alice through.
But then he just kind of
What happened was the power went out during the initial process, and then when it came back up, apparently Kasumi's power took over Alice. Or
See, I
Alice
missed
program.
this shit. Like there was so much going on.
Yeah, I mean it's so fucking much. Again,
was a lot.
and I could still be wrong. So anybody who's seen King of
Tell
Thorn,
us, because
Tell me.
fucking we don't
tell
know.
us. Yeah. So with Kasumi's amazing imagination, just thorns
I
and
don't know
monsters.
why thorns.
And she created an alternate version of herself that she put into the pod.
Yeah, she like takes an alternate version of her sister or something and puts it in the pod like she was sleeping there the whole time.
Which is why Marco and Peter both saw Kasumi and then Shizuku. Shizuku was another alternative that was existing throughout the vines as the vine of thorns as well. So it's like, so you created yourself and you created your sister, but
then also you don't know the entire time it's just like a whole hallucination.
yeah, it's so much.
Because even at the end you don't know like, is this like has the world ended? Like is this all just in their head?
And will
Because
yeah,
at some point like Marco was fighting his sister,
yes,
who turns out to be the first person we saw in the intro,
yeah,
who
it's
killed herself
Yes.
jumping off the building. And you like see her dead.
Yeah.
He's fighting her, but then he somehow takes a gun and shoots his microchip that they implanted at the beginning, which you assume Alice is putting into
Yeah,
their brain
yeah,
for
we've
the
had, like,
hallucination.
they had like 3 injections, 2 in
Yeah.
the arm and 1 in the neck.
Yeah, so he thinks he clears it, but then once he clears it, he looks up, and it's not his sister. It's a vine shaped sort of like a human
Yeah,
who is
using
fighting him
and using a gun.
thing. Yeah, and using a fucking gun.
Like what the fuck?
Thorn is using the gun. And they're fighting each other, and so you're like, oh, so a lot of it is an hallucination then. Because he's walking up the tower, and then he goes in the tower, and suddenly he's in the room with
Yeah,
all of the
Back-
cryogenic.
panoramic dome.
Yeah.
Honeycomb.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's the top of the tower. And so you don't know what's real, and you don't know what's fake.
So yeah, let's put it in perspective. Only 2 people make it out of this alive,
Yeah.
and one of them ain't technically people.
And yet, Catherine got this, but she still keeps talking.
A little bit.
She still keeps fucking talking. Please stop saying the Sleeping Beauty story. We get it.
So
We get it.
at this moment,
So I'm telling you, all right, we're at this fucking story. There's
so much.
so much we have to really
I feel like we have to do it.
verbatim tell you this story and we still would not be able to give you the insight.
Nope. I don't know.
You have to watch this for yourself. I'm not saying you have to watch it because it's an amazing movie. I'm saying you have to watch it to somewhat understand and still be at the level of confused
As we
that Jay and I are at right now.
Yep. Because damn.
We can't fathom.
Let's
They piled too many questions on,
Yep.
didn't answer enough of them,
Nope.
didn't answer the right amount. There's too much, and every character became
fodder.
annoying.
That
Catherine was fucking annoying as shit.
Tim was annoying as fuck.
Tim was annoying as shit. We kept bringing up the game because you're like
everybody else in that group was perfectly fine.
yeah, it was just
the
Catherine and Tim.
Yeah,
Like,
the senator,
shut the fuck up.
Catherine, and Tim,
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
and only one of those
Stop
three
talking.
survives.
Yeah, just stop talking. And they kept bringing up the same thing. You're like,
Shut up.
we're in the middle. We've tried to like run for our lives 6 times, and you're still bringing up. This is like we have to go into the dungeon. Like we're in level 64. Shut up. You have to catch them. You have to shoot them. Shut up.
So, let's go ahead and read this.
Let's read this. Yeah,
Let's get this out of the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. I enjoyed the art. I thought the art was still well done. The backgrounds are really pretty.
Yes.
We didn't even mention the fact that holding Tenzo binding the dragon flying thing, which you don't even like.
It was so short lived and unnecessary.
Yeah. There was no. You don't even know what the fuck's happening.
Again.
I don't even know if they were in the dragon or in the castle because it flew with part of it in there. Anyways, I'm gonna give this shit a 5.5.
Okay.
Out of 10 because you don't need to watch. Like, there's not going to be a part of yourself change by watching this movie.
No.
It seemed like such a good concept at the beginning, but they kept piling on psychological bullshit for no reason. Like, you could have spilled all those beans at the beginning and left me with one question as to, like, or not even a question, just like, we have to get to the center.
Yeah.
And fight your way to the center and give me that movie, and that would have been fine. But they piled all these psychological shit and it to the center, but you don't even know why they're going to the center. Like, what's going to change? You don't know.
4.8.
So you're wrong. Okay.
I'm going lower because I'll be damned if I want to watch a movie and I have this many questions throughout the entire. It's normally that I can like get the bits and pieces.
You got
put
some
together.
of the shit I didn't. I got some of the shit you didn't put together. We sort of got. If you're watching this, I can't imagine
the amount of confusion that you probably have.
I'm
listening
so
to
sorry.
trying to get through this. But if you go back, if you have Crunchyroll, please, if you haven't seen it, King of Thorn, watch it. Talk to us.
Tell me if
Good
I'm wrong.
God, please talk to us.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Because I'm happy to be wrong. That's fine.
Yeah.
I will lose out in that. It's no big deal. But I can't. There's so many questions left at the end of it, and it doesn't even fully feel like there's no. It doesn't. Some questions were answered, but some questions were only half answered. And it still felt confusing. I want a solid fucking ending where I can be like, all right,
Definitive.
maybe there's a
Done.
question of what's happening with people at the end of it.
But see, we've done that. We've had movies like that. We've had movies that have solid endings, and we have no problem. This, anyway. If you have Crunchyroll, watch freaking King of Thorn and explain it if you've seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's so fucking much. Anyway.
Thank you for sticking with us through this. I hope that you can watch it and understand our confusion.
Yeah. So this is after Bubble and after this. Please stop trying to make modernized anime versions of Grimm's adventures or Grimm's stories.
Unless you're going to do a good job with it and stop making it confusing.
Like, I wasn't mad with Bubble. as
This
much
one-
as I am mad at this.
Yeah, this one,
I am madder than this. Yeah, madder at this.
I mean,
Yeah.
Time Stranger was confusing.
But we hadn't seen the show prior to.
Yeah, and it was still.
Yeah, it was still like
Because they changed villains to be
friends and heroes. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They're like, hey, we tried to kill each other for years, but you know what? Buddies.
But you know, outside of the main character's perspective, like they were actually friends in real life. But yeah, no. This no.
No. Well,
Stop it.
thank you so much for listening. We watched King of Thorn. Tell us what you thought. You heard all of our contact information at the beginning. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. We love you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.